Thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins. I'm your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our bets and your bets, it's going to be another profitable day for you. Sunday, March 28th, NBA playoffs. Man, are these things getting good or what? So we got quite a few games. We got 4 games going on today. So another big weekend slate of games here. So let's get popping. Let's get moving into this, right? So 10 o'clock out here in Phoenix, 1 o'clock Eastern time. Let's talk about this one. Knicks, 76ers. 76ers are down, still 2-1 in this series from the Knicks. The 76ers have had multiple opportunities to win all 3 games so far this series. But you call, heart or effort has been on the side of the Knicks so far in this series. They're up 2-1. This game, though, should be a barn burner here. 4.5-point line currently, 209 total in this one here. Embiid, though, has, oh my God, what did he go for 50 in the last game? Are we serious in this one? The 76ers have nobody the Knicks have nobody or no matchup to guard him or have not figured out how to double team him to make everybody else beat him. But he has been absolutely fantastic, even though it seems like he's playing on one leg half the damn time and has no jump at all. So I feel bad for Embiid. I know he's hurt. I know he's not 100%. But at this time of year, how many people really are, right? After playing all those games, he comes back after the injury, gone a couple months, lost his shot at probably an MVP, as he was probably leading that before he went down with the injury. He was leading the league in scoring in that one. So what happens in this particular game? So what we think is going to happen is the 76ers are going to pull this one out. They're going to send the series back 2-2. We think Embiid's going to go for possibly another 40-point game. Jalen Brunson finally did break the barrier of going over his point prop the last game against the 76ers. Don't expect that one again. Can we really count on Josh Hart to have another 20-point game? I don't think so, but is it possible? The way he's been playing, absolutely. We expect Maxey to come a little bit more alive in this particular matchup, as well as I think they're going to need scoring from their 2 superstars. And yes, we're calling Maxey a superstar. And the problem that the Knicks have, it's Jalen Brunson and everybody else. So the question is going to remain, can Jalen Brunson go for 30-plus and have like 10 assists, and Josh Hart and everybody else keep up this ridiculous shooting that they've had so far? Obviously, Miles or Deuce McBride's calmed down a little bit since his terrorization when he was in New York. I'm expected for a role player on that one, but Josh Hart's been the surprise of this series to me. Congratulations to Josh Hart. He's played fantastic, and you've beat us out of the hell of some money on your under props. So what bets do we have for this game? Let's get rocking and rolling right into it. So no time but the present, right? So we definitely like this. Like I said, we like the 76ers in this matchup. I still think that even though we bet the 76ers before the series started, if I know the Knicks were going to play like that, we probably would have took the Knicks for the series, to say the least. And that one, they've been really good so far. They still had a chance to win Game 3 as well. So, and they pulled out Games 1 and 2 with some heroic type stuff. So just effort on their end just seems to be so much higher right now than what we're getting out of the 76ers. The 76ers can't wait until that Tobias Harris contract is finished, because that was an absolute just suck fest. All he has done is drain money out of that organization for lack of effort and it seems like lack of effort on a nightly basis. But don't let me get on my Tobias Harris kick, right? So 76ers -1 in the first quarter, 2.5 in the first half, and -4.5 for the game. Jalen Brunson, we think you're fantastic, but 31.5 points really is, like, if it was at 29.5, you can consider going over, but under 31.5 points there. Under 2.5 threes made, as he's not been shooting the 3-ball well as well. And then we're going to take Embiid, 34-plus points. It's a ton, I know, but they have no matchup for him, and he's absolutely, except for Game 1, Game 2 and 3, he went over this mark. Game 1, he did miss significant time, though. He tweaked that knee just a little bit more. So 34-plus points and 40-plus points for Embiid. Maxey, 25-plus points, 30-plus points, and 4-plus threes. Plus, we like Maxey over 36.5 par. It's points, assists, rebounds combined on that one there. So one more time, 76ers, Knicks. -1 in the first quarter for the 76ers, -2.5 first half, -4.5 for the game. Brunson under 31.5 points, under 2.5 threes made. Embiid, 34-plus points and 40-plus points. Maxey, 25 plus points, 30 plus points, 4 plus threes, and over 36.5 par. That's points, assists, rebounds combined. Why not make it a fun word like par rather than PRA? You can put assists in front of rebounds. It's not going to kill anybody on that one. All right, enough about that 76ers and Knicks game. Let's get on to the next one. 12:30 out here in Phoenix. 3:30 Eastern time. Clippers, Mavs. 6-point favorite here for the Clips. 209, not for the Clippers. How about for the Mavs? Game 4 at home. Mavs lead the series 2-1. Chance for Dallas to really put a stranglehold on this thing. Kawhi Leonard sounds like he's going to be out. Not that he's really contributed much in the last 2 games, but I understand why he missed game 1 and he was going to play game 2 and 3. I mean, obviously it was probably in the same amount of shape, so I didn't quite understand that one. But in this particular matchup here, I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but the Mavericks all of a sudden play defense. It's been pretty amazing for the last, let's say, 25 games. They actually play some defense. Now, what has happened in this, the Clippers also play some defense, as Luka has struggled to score in game 3. He went barely over his point prop in game 1, under game 2 and game 3. And for some reason, his point prop is still at 33.5 in this particular one. Not quite sure why, but it is still at 33.5. Now, what do we think is going to happen game-wise? I don't think James Harden can continue shooting the 3 ball as well as he has, but he is going to continue turning it over. We expect Paul George to be covered up quite a bit in this one and struggle to score. Zubats has been a big difference for him. He's actually kept him in, game 1. I thought he was a big reason why they won that game. Harden's been hitting threes all 3 games. We are due for a James Harden turd because it is the playoffs, and there's no way he's going to play a whole series well. But in this particular game, we're not necessarily going to go on Harden except for turnovers, but we do like the Mavs in this spot to get game 4 of this series. So let's give you those bets in the Mavs game, Mavs and Clips. So Mavs minus 1.5 first quarter, minus 3.5 first half, minus 6 for the game. Now these couple bets are probably going to be unpopular, but the numbers are just too high from what we've seen so far. So Luka under 33.5 points, Luka under 4.5 threes made, Luka under 53.5 par. I'm sorry, Luka, you're a fantastic player, but the way they are playing you, I don't see you getting 30-plus points the way they've played you, especially in the last game. He finished with 22 on that one. So Paul George under 20.5 points and under 2.5 threes and under 28.5 par. And James Harden over 2.5 turnovers. We bet this basically almost every time Harden played with the Clips all season long. It cashed at like a 70% rate. So you got to continue to go back to the well. Do we miss this bet occasionally? Absolutely. It has cashed a hell of a lot more. It's made money all season long, so why would we not go back to it on that one? So one more time, Mavs minus 1.5 first quarter, minus 3.5 first half, minus 6 for the game. Luka under 33.5 points, under 4.5 threes made, and under 53.5 par. I just think the numbers are too big. I still expect Luka to probably go out there and put up 28 to 31, somewhere in that range. Probably hit 3 threes, have a great chance at a triple-double, but all the numbers, if that's the case, fall short of those there. Paul George under 20.5 points, under 2.5 threes made, and under 28.5 par. And then we go James Harden over 2.5 turnovers in that one. Next game up, Pacers, Bucks, 4 o'clock out here in Phoenix, 7 o'clock Eastern time. Pacers do some damage in the last game. They do some damage early, but figure out a way to fudge that game up in the second half so they don't cover the game, but they do cover first quarter, first half in that one there. But let's be honest here. It looks like Lillard's going to be out. He re-aggravated an Achilles injury that nobody knew he had. Amazing on that one. Doesn't sound like Giannis is going to be back. If Chris Middleton goes off for 50, the Pacers still have an excellent chance to win and cover. Middleton was fantastic in Game 3. I don't know what he's going to do if he's got to be the primary ball handler as well. Because who else is going to bring up the ball? What, you're going to have Patrick Beverley as your point guard? I like my chances in that one quite a bit, if that's the case. So, Pacers are favored by 9.5 in this one. 216.5 total. We like the Pacers here. We think they're going to actually close this game out, take a 3-1 series lead, headed back to Milwaukee, And Milwaukee thinks about shutting it down if Giannis and Lillard can't play. So let's take a look at the bets in this game we've got for you. Like I said, it is Pacers heavy here. Pacers minus 2.5 first quarter, minus 5.5 first half, minus 9.5 for the game. Siakam, fantastic 2 games in Milwaukee, but guess what happened? Milwaukee actually made an adjustment and held Siakam to 15 points in game 3. So we like him under 25.5 points. We like Halliburton, though, to have a good game, over 16.5 points, 3+ threes, 4+ threes on that one. And then we like Middleton under 6.5 assists. I'm not quite sure why his number is to get the 7. I can see Middleton with 6 assists, but 7 is an extreme push, in my opinion. So we got to take that under 6.5 assists on him. Obi Toppin, who had a great game and normally plays extremely well at home off the bench, over 7.5 points in that one. And also the Bucks under 103.5 team total. Now the Pacers might go off and score a bunch here. I do not expect a bunch of scoring from the Bucks. I expect a lot of mid-range shots and slowing the offense down. Therefore, we think the Bucks are going to go under their 103.5. So let's give you those plays one more time in the Pacers-Bucks matchup. Pacers minus 2.5 first quarter, minus 5.5 first half, minus 9.5 for the game. Siakam under 25.5 points. Halliburton over 16.5 points, 3+ threes and 4+ threes. Obi Toppin over 7.5 points. Middleton under 6.5 assists for the Bucks, and the Bucks under that 103.5 team total. Next game up. Excuse me here. I apologize about that. We've got, let's see, 6:30 out here in Phoenix, 9:30 Eastern times. T-Wolves, Suns. T-Wolves right now a point and a half favorite, depending on where you're at. I'm surprised they're not like 4 or 5. To be really honest here, do we expect the Suns to give any freaking effort if they couldn't do it in Game 3? Total around 210.5 in this particular game. I'm going to say it right now. We live out here in the Phoenix area. We watch the Suns pretty religiously. The year they went to the finals with Chris Paul and Booker and, Miles Bridges and Cam Johnson, was the Valley or the whole area was on fire. This year, they've got Durant and Booker and Beal. And Kevin Durant was actually healthy for a majority of the season. He rarely missed any games. Beal and Booker took their turns on what 10-game stretch they were taking off. But Durant came to play almost on a nightly basis. First time in quite some time he hasn't missed 20 to 30 games in a season. Now, the question is, here's the thing. They have no bench. And guess what the Wolves have? An excellent bench when they're at full strength. Naz Reid moves from the starting lineup to the bench. He's a scoring threat from there. Jaden McDaniels and Walker Alexander for the T-Wolves have absolutely shut Booker down. Just completely took him out of all 3 of these games so far. They haven't figured out how to get him open in 3 games. How the hell is he going to get open in 4? He's not. I expect the same out of Booker. Durant gets 25 to 30 points. Beal doesn't do shit. The Suns can't rebound except for Nurkic because for some reason KD is 7 foot tall and can't rebound worth a piss. Booker's not a good rebounder. Beal's not a good rebounder. Who else they got to rebound? What, Grayson Allen, who they just set out to the 3-point line, paid him like way too much money for an extension? I don't know what the hell the Suns were thinking. I wasn't a fan of the KD trade. Definitely wasn't a fan of the Beal trade because now they're stuck. And they're stuck for years. The only option that they really have in the offseason when this comes up is trading Devin Booker. Really? That's what we're going to do? You got no point guard. You did this to yourselves. And then you pulled in a defensive coach in Frank Vogel, whose one championship was won in spite of him instead of because of him. The Lakers were going to win that championship in the bubble regardless. It didn't matter if they had LeBron's son coaching the team. They were winning that finals. The Heat were well overmatched in that thing. It wasn't even going to come close. The Lakers were winning that thing regardless. But Vogel gets the credit for it. It stays on the resume. But unfortunately, he doesn't get it done here. I just can't. The disappointment of the Suns this season was just You can't count on them for anything. You can't count on them to make a bucket. They're the worst fourth quarter team in the league. The T-Wolves, on the other hand, they have shown this series why they were number one in defensive rating, defensive everything. They were number one. Anthony Edwards has had 2 fabulous games, one game on that one. Towns really hasn't even lit up yet. Gobert's been okay on the boards. Jaden McDaniels, Walker Alexander, they have come to play this series. They've been on fire, both of them in this one. So congratulations to the T-Wolves, I believe, as they sweep the Suns here, get this game. And then guess what they got? The Nuggets. Folks, if you're looking for a barn burner series, I think that's going to be the one because both teams are pretty solid defensively. T-Wolves probably a little bit better. But man, oh man, are we looking for a series in the next one with the Nuggets and the T-Wolves. 2-3 go at it in that one there. So, man, I'm telling you, I can't wait for that series to get started as both teams are up 3-0 in this one. So let's get this game over with and let's get on to the second round, right? So T-Wolves, like I said, about a point and a half favorite, total around 210.5. It's all T-Wolves all the time in this one for us. I don't think the Suns are going to give any effort whatsoever. Matt Ishbia, we like you. Don't get me wrong. But you had to come out and prove you were better than everybody else once you bought the team and get all these superstars. And now you're stuck, and we're left with mediocrity now for probably the next 3 to 4 years at a minimum. So let's go with the bets here in the T-Wolves Suns game. T-Wolves minus a half first quarter, minus a half first half, -1 for the game. Booker under 24.5 points, under 2.5 threes, and over 2.5 turnovers. Naz Reid, 10+ points, 2+ threes. Jaden Daniels, 10+ points. And Daniels, 1+ 3, so just 1 3-pointer. Kevin Durant, under 2.5 threes. Karl Anthony Towns, 2+ threes. He hasn't really shot the 3-ball fantastic so far, but just a couple of them. I think they drive it home. I don't know if Anthony Edwards is going to have one of his 30-point nights or not. I'm expecting maybe 15 to 24, somewhere in that range. But he's heavily involved in the offense. But I think he's going to share the sugar pretty well around. So therefore we stayed off the AE stuff in this one. But one more time, T-Wolves and Suns bets. T-Wolves minus a half first quarter, minus a half first half, -1 for the game. Booker under 24.5 points, under 2.5 threes made, and over 2.5 turnovers. Naz Reid, 10+ points, 2+ threes. Jaden Daniels, 10+ points, 1+ 3. Kevin Durant, under 2.5 threes, and Karl Anthony Towns, 2+ threes. So obviously a lot of bets for you guys on April 28th here. I mean, looking at this thing, it's like 50 bets roughly on these games here. Easiest way to find these, figure them out, exactly what we've got is our Google Sheets. It's going to be on our YouTube channel and also our TikTok channel. Make sure you do check that out. I'll read docs.google.com/spreadsheet. It makes life so much easier to go through these instead of trying to write them down while we're going through the episode. I want you guys to watch the episode for kind of the breakdown, but for the bets themselves, make sure you do check out those Google Sheets. Spend a couple minutes on it. It's well worth your time to follow along on this. So check those out when you get a couple minutes. And as always, if you could subscribe or follow us to whatever social media platform you're watching us on, whether it be YouTube, TikTok, or the two main ones, makes life really simple to find us once you hit that subscribe button on YouTube, or the follow on TikTok will be in your subscriptions or follow tab. And if you want to make life even easier, make sure you do check, turn on notifications for those social media platforms. You'll get a notification to your phone or device to let you know Sports Bets for Free has dropped a new episode of bets. Give you plenty of time to match those up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.